come forward and address all of us. At 12 o'clock, as you might know, we have the Arati here in the temple. We have the Rajbhog Arati, the worship of the deities. And before that, we have two warm-up introductory programs. And the first being a classical Bharatanatyam dance given by Uma Jani Uttaya Kumar. And the play is called Jagan Mohanane Krishna, which means Krishna who is enamoring the whole universe. Yeah, Jagan Mohan. He's bewildering the whole universe. Thank you so much for joining us. Please. Please give a nice round of applause.
Jaganmohanane Krishna Jaganmohanane Krishna Jaganmohanane Krishna Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane Jaganmohanane Krishna Jagavane Palimpane ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗುಣಗಣ ಹೊಗಳೆನು ಇಂದ್ರಾದಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಳವಲ್ಲ 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 ಮಂದರಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನೆ ಮಂದರಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನೆ ಮಂದರಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನೆ ಮಂದರಧರ ಶ್ರೀ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗಲಿದೆಯೋ ರಂಗ ಒಂದೊಂದಾಟವ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗಲಿದೋ ರಂಗ ಜಗಮೋಹನನೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಜಗವನೆ ಪಾಲಿಬತೆ ಜಗಮೋಹನನೇ ಕೃಷ್ಣ
Thank you so much, Umajani, for this wonderful presentation. Hare Krishna, would you like to say a few words about the play?
Yeah, I loved it. So thank you very much for this opportunity. So yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So next we will have a small drama performance. No? Introduction is okay? No?
Krishna, if it is your opinion that knowledge is superior to action, then why do you urge me to fight this terrible war? I think many of you know this shloka. It is the first verse in the third chapter of the Bhagavad. Arjuna expressing his doubt towards Krishna. Now we have to close the door because we do something very special and I need full attention and no interruption. You're now able to experience the Bhagavad Gita live. And in order to do that, all of you have to close your eyes. Imagine you travel back in time 5,000 years to a land called Bharata, nowadays known as India. You go towards the north, Hastinapura, and even further to the north, 160 kilometers, to a place called Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. It's in the month of Margashirsha, November, December, on an Ekadashi day, early in the morning. Two huge armies face each other, ready for battle. The elephants are difficult to control. The horses are nervous, and the millions of soldiers are impatient. Any time the war can start. All are waiting for the signals. The kettle drums to be beaten and the conch to be blown.
Krishna, please bring me to the front line of our enemies. I wish to see against whom I have to fight.
Here, Arjuna, behold the army of the Kauravas and their allies, ready to start the battle.
Krishna, I shall not fight.
Arjuna, how could this weakness overcome you in this decisive time of war? Free yourself from this weakness and fight.
Seeing my relatives allied with our enemies, ready to begin the battle, I lose my courage, feel dizzy. This war will be disastrous for all.
Arjuna, these cannot be the words of a mighty warrior. Free yourself from this weakness and fight.
There can't be any good in waging war against my own relatives. The blood of these people will stick on my hands. What benefit do victory and glory bring if I have to risk my own life?
Arjuna, you talk like a wise man, yet you lament for what is not worth lamenting.
Don't know what to do. Krishna, please help me.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any of these warriors. As the soul wanders in this body from childhood to youth to old age, so it passes into another body after death. The wise are not confused by this natural transmigration.
Does the body not die? Does the soul not die with the body?
No, the soul is eternal. When the body dies, the soul is not affected.
All right, but how shall I act?
Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Perform your duties without attachment to the results and always remain balanced.
Isn't knowledge better than action?
Knowledge and action both can bring you to the same end. However, action is superior. If you act selflessly for the benefit of all living beings, then your activities are perfect.
Oh, Krishna, until now I thought you're just a prince and my friend. But who are you in reality?
I am the beginning, the middle, and the end. Life and death, both are me. I reside in the heart of all living beings. Whoever takes refuge in me will be freed from the circle of birth and death.
O origin and maintainer of the universe, by your mercy my doubts have disappeared. My mind is clear now, and I see my duties.
Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucha. Giving up all worldly activities, take shelter in me alone. I will free you from all bad reactions. Do not fear, Arjuna.
From now on, I will perform my duties with pure consciousness, free from ego, with selfless love, regardless of favorable or unfavorable circumstances. Krishna, it begins!
Yeah!
happiness and distress, peace and conflicts, victory and defeat. They are like the ups and downs of the waves in the ocean. In order to overcome this duality, we need to open ourselves to a spirituality that is universal.
The Mahabharata teaches us that life is like a river. Drink its water, refresh yourself with it, and share it with others. But do not fight against the river, and don't get carried away by its current. You may try to change its course, but ultimately the river will find its own way. Do not develop an attachment to the river, but observe it closely and learn the truth of life from the ever-flowing, ever-present river.
I have something to say also to this part. And this, at the time of the Mahabharata, we performed here, the people were aware that the present life is only one of many lives. In the future, a servant may become a businessman. A king may become a priest, or an animal, a plant, a god, or even a demon, depending on his consciousness and the activities.
This was a short introduction, a summary of our 15-scene Mahabharata performance. For those who are really curious to see the entire piece, this evening at 6:30 at the church here in Zurich called Predigerkirche, we'll be performing the entire Mahabharata in 2 hours. I'm very grateful that today we could share with you, especially I haven't met him yet personally, His Excellency the Ambassador of India, Shri Kumarji. Very nice to have you here. And I look forward to hear your summary of the 18th chapter. Hare Krishna. So we will now have noon arti. You're welcome to participate. You may all get up. We will hear again a conch, this time not for a word, but this time the conch will announce the noon arti. Thank you all for being here. Hare Krishna. And thanks to all the other Kshatriyas. Please come. Some of them already visited here. And the musicians, Divya and Gopala.
Thank you so much, Gora Lila Prabhu and team. Gora Lila is very absorbed in the Bhagavad Gita. He's doing so many productions that it's called the Gita Productions, no? He's doing dramas, but also he's writing books. You can actually find one of them outside on the table. We were asked if we have Bhagavad Gita for children, because many young devotees of Krishna, they want to study also Bhagavad Gita, but it might be a little difficult if it's such a thick book. So there is a very nice Bhagavad Gita compiled by Gora Lila Prabhu, which is nicely illustrated with pictures and very suitable for children to read.
Now it's in German, but I got the instruction to do it also in English, and within half a year you get the children Bhagavad Gita as in English.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So now we're going to have the noon arati. If you like, you can please all get up and we will have some bhajan, kirtan. You can all move a little bit forward, please. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्ति वेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमद्भक्ति वेदान्त स्वामिनि इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चातिशतारिणे नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पश्चातिशतारिणे Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol
Maybe we can request be a little bit short in time or a little late. So we will have the Shatari after the program, so all of you can come after the program. And if you can please now take your seat, kindly be seated so that we have space on this side and we will continue with our program.
Aber es ist leider nicht so scharf, wie wir vorgestellt haben. Wenn ich wüsste, ich würde auch mein Telefon schauen.
Dear devotees, if I may request you to please take your seat. We have a few chairs here and also we have pillows. Kannst du vielleicht kurz mal Küsse nehmen? Martin, I'd like to introduce to you His Grace Krishna Prabhu.
Ich kam nach Deutschland seit 3 Jahren. 23 Hamburg. Меня зовут Дима.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Again, a very warm welcome to all of you to our International Gita Mahotsava, International Gita celebration. And this day is literally celebrated not only internationally but universally. Yeah, it's a very auspicious day. Why? This is the appearance day of Bhagavad Gita. And you've probably seen today on the altar we have the Bhagavad Gita present with a beautiful garland. And one might ask, why to worship a book? And especially why to worship such an old book? There are so many books. And more recent books which are more relevant to our time and age. The reason for that, Srila Prabhupada explains very beautifully. Yeah, if we can please close the door. The Bhagavad Gita has been spoken by Sri Krishna. And in Bhagavad Gita itself, he is addressed as Bhagavan, which means the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Arjuna says, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram. That Krishna is the Supreme Brahman, the Supreme Abode, and he's Pavitram, he's pure. And therefore whatever comes from him is also pure. So the words he speaks, the Bhagavad Gita, are supremely pure, and they will always remain supremely pure. And that's why this day is so worshipable, and we celebrate. We are very honored to have with us His Excellency, Mr. Kumarji, and we would like to welcome him by giving a round of applause to him. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today here in Zurich, and thank you for choosing the Krishna Temple Zurich, ISKCON Zurich, to celebrate this auspicious day together with the Embassy of India. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We also have with us His Grace Krishna Premarupa Prabhu. He is the governing body commissioner of Switzerland. Many of you know him. He's living in this temple, and he will also address us today. So let us welcome him by loudly clapping. We thought, in order to honor Srila Prabhupada, who we know, without him, we wouldn't be sitting in this temple today. Many have acknowledged him to be the biggest propounder, the biggest preacher of Bhagavad Gita in this world. I just did a small research today, and there is some estimation that in the ISKCON movement, which has been founded by him, over 1 million Bhagavad Gitas have been distributed worldwide. And we can see the result of the distribution of Bhagavad Gita. What is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita has been accepted by many people all over the world, including Switzerland. And based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita, temples have been established, like this temple here. So we would like to honor Srila Prabhupada by giving him a garland, and if His Excellency would like to hand him this garland. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then, of course, now that Srila Prabhupada has been honored, we would like to also welcome again. Please, this is meant for you. Actually, Radhakanta Prabhu, you have a Pavitra also, since he requested to present a small gift. We mentioned the word Pavitra, no? Pure.
This is coming from Sri Mayapur Dham. It's Lord Nishingadev's. Jagannath Puri.
Haribo. His Excellency, I think you will be speaking about Bhagavad Gita, specifically about the chapter 18. Yeah, the Srila Prabhupada, he translated the chapter as the perfection of renunciation. So we're very curious to hear from you. Please.
Thank you. Asadoma sadgamya, tamasoma jyotirgamya, mrityorma amritgamya, Om Shanti Shanti. So may I begin by thanking ISKCON Temple in Zurich for partnering with us for this very special celebration of International Gita Mahotsava in Switzerland. As I mentioned earlier to you, today the main event begins in Kurukshetra city of Haryana, where the epoch battle of Mahabharata took place. And His Grace, Krishna Param Roop Prabhu, His Grace, Damodar Das Ji Prabhu, Satish Ji Joshi, all the priests present here, all the devotees present here, and my colleague from the embassy, Rajendra Ji, are especially blessed. We all are especially blessed that we are here gathered in the ISKCON temple to celebrate this beautiful festival. This festival began in 2016 by way of background to all of you, and now it is attended by millions of people who get enlightened by the eternal message of Mad Bhagavad Gita, the song Celestial. My dear friends, Lord Krishna imparted this timeless wisdom of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, his favorite friend, disciple, at the battlefield of Kurukshetra. This profound moment in history elevated Kurukshetra to a sacred status revered by millions of devotees all over the world as a symbol of eternal truth, righteous duty, and divine guidance. I chose to speak on 18th chapter. In fact, I had a very long speech, but then I decided to cut it off and just speak about how it is relevant in the movement that we are sitting here at ISKCON Temple. So one who understands Bhagavad Gita, especially its 18th chapter, has understood it all. And we talk about the primal question, who am I? So this beautiful question, which has baffled all of us all through human evolution, has been very well answered by Lord Gita, by the Lord through its message in Gita. So when you understand this beautiful, true philosophical song, and I think there is no better place of singing than this temple, my heart felt with joy unspeakable when I saw small children speaking Gita, speaking this beautiful Hare Krishna, singing with a lot of happiness, eternal happiness. So I say that the Gita, which is written in 18th chapter and 700 verses, if you have understood the essence of it, you have understood the essence of your own life. Gita Upanishad is the essence of Vedic knowledge. It's a system of yoga handed down from Manu and Ikshwaku and reiterated time and again whenever humanity needs it. And as you can see here written, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharate abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. So whenever the world faces this challenge, where righteousness goes down, I come destroy the evil, unrighteousness in India. And this is the message that Gita passes on to us. So when I saw this beautiful small skit prepared today, we are all reminded of the battleground in Kurukshetra, where Arjuna is full of very extraordinary doubt. He is expected to destroy the evil, but the evil is his own family, his own friends, his own relatives. So there is this huge dilemma as to how I destroy the evil and how I should be considered as a destructor of evil by killing my own family. So he's confused, he's despondent, he's not knowing the right from the wrong. And this mood of despair in the first chapter described in Gita, Arjuna finds himself is what the mystic called the dark night, the Kala Ratri. And Kala Ratri is the essential step to spiritual upliftment. So Arjuna tries to evade this righteous ordeal through specious excuses. And we see this great insight into a common man's heart, conflict of motives, selfishness, no clarity of purpose and thoughts. And as the dialogue with Lord Krishna proceeds, the doubts starts disappearing. Krishna tells him, Swadharma, what is my own right path, my own duty? And he shows him the Virat Roop, the all-encompassing form. And he tells him, Arjuna, you are mistaken. You are not the doer. You are only the nimit. You are only the purpose I have chosen you for. I am the one who is doing it. So look at my Virat Roop. The people who you want to kill through me are already killed by me because they are not on the path of righteousness. And I'm here on this planet to bring the balance between the right and the wrong. So this message is universal. And an individual free from passion, fear, and ignorance, and pumped by the fire of wisdom, he attains the state of God. So never, as Gita says to him, about him, never he is born. And him is Atma. Never he is born, nor dies. Never did he come to be, nor will he ever come to be again. Unborn, eternal, everlasting, the primal. You seek me in word, through experience, and beyond the knowledge, which is the Jnana Yoga, and the action, which is the Karma Yoga, the path I teach you is the path of devotion. And this is so beautifully depicted in ISKCON Temple. This is the path of devotion, where you forget everything. You come to me, and you will get the answers of all your dilemmas, and all your questions, and all your queries. Abandon all religious injunctions, and just surrender to me, and I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. After explaining the entire knowledge and processes of dharma, Krishna asked Arjuna to forget all and to surrender to him completely. And this is where the ultimate sacrifice is. The love of the Supreme involves giving up all else. Meditation of the unmanifested. Brahma is unmanifested, leads to the goal. But Krishna urges that it is a hard process. How do you realize the unmanifested? Very difficult for a common man. There's no foothold through which we can approach him. And H capital, the love which we feel towards someone involves an element of separateness. However closely love may unite, the lover and the beloved remain distinct entities. And the more intense the longing, the devotion is, the more one is willing to sacrifice everything else. So with complete sacrifice of everything and all, including ego, we realize him. So I ask you this question. What is that which prevents you from making ultimate love to someone you love so much? It is your own ego. And once you have been able to go beyond your ego, then you can actually love in the true sense of the word. So for true bhakti, we require shraddha, we require faith. The highest reality is to be assumed till it reveals in devotees' own consciousness. Unlimited variety of habits we have in India, unlimited variety of minds we have in India, unlimited variety of gods we have in India. We have 30 crore gods. So you are allowed the freedom of faith based on your own individuality. And this is the lower form of worship, the avatar of the divine. The Brahma, the Vishnu, the Mahesh, they are all subordinate to the Purushottam, the Brahma. Can devotion, this love that we saw in this temple just 15 minutes ago, lead to Brahma? As long as worship along with devotion, it pumps the heart and prepares the mind for the higher consciousness. A man is what his thoughts are. Whatever he has faith in, that he will attain to. So Shraddha requires complete surrender. It leads to unselfish conduct. And here I will tell you the difference between faith and belief that I have understood in my own life. Faith is something which is eternal, which you go from your consciousness. Belief is something that comes from your mind. So it's full of dogma. You believe in something because your mind tells you to believe in something. And mind can always be wrong. Mind is the problem. So when you have the faith, when you have this beautiful devotion, then only you can attain him. Because when you have the faith, the ego goes away. When you're dealing with your mind, the ego remains. Our conduct, as Vishnu Puran says, promotes the interest of righteousness, which at the same time results in spiritual rest and satisfaction. The question, what is good and what is bad? There is a moral dilemma here, which Arjuna faces, and Krishna tries to answer that dilemma. This is all Desh, Kal, Patra. It's all dependent on the time and the space and the actor. And the actor is chosen by the Krishna, the Almighty himself. And this morality problem we all face through our human lives in society. The good for me is whatever advances the wholeness, the completeness, the unity, which is the yoga. And the bad is whatever is inconsistent with it. So the challenge is to keep that balance. And this is where the role of Lord Krishna and Shripad comes into being. They say that after a certain period of time, the righteousness goes down. And I come here to establish the balance. So this is not about good and bad. At the end of the day, a good of good is also bad. Too much of good is also bad. So if I claim that I'm very good, it's also bad. Because at the end of the day, this is the ego which is speaking. So I do good not because I want to do good. I do good because this good is being asked by him, H capital, for me to do. And this is the message that Lord gives. He says that you are only the nimitta. You're not the one who is doing it. So even if you are thinking that this is bad to kill your own relatives, this is for me to decide. And this moral dilemma, whether it is bad or good, is something this will confront all of us, all through our lives. And the important thing is when we are confronted with this basic primal question, the only recourse, the only hold that we can have in our lives is remembering the path of Gita. So we say Satyameva Jayate Nanritam. We always say Satyameva Jayate, but nobody talks about Nanritam. So Nanritam is the most important part. Satya is always the winner. The truth prevails. But there is a condition when the truth can prevail. The truth can only prevail when it is in consonance with the rhythm. And rhythm is the natural order of things that has been created when he started thinking of the creation. The creation came out of his thoughts. And he was bored. Minus 273 degrees Celsius, 0 Kelvin. He was damn cold. And he said, no, I want to see if I start dancing, if I start singing, what happens? And through this dancing, through the singing, which we call the dance of Lord Shiva, we start having the manifestation of the creation of the universe. So this Satya, this truth, this ultimate reality will prevail only when this is in consonance with the laws that he has already defined for all of us. And as long as our actions are within the ambit of those laws, we will never be doing anything wrong. This is called the Lok Samagraha. Benefit of the all, good for the all. We cannot shirk our duties from the task of fighting sin and injustice, even though this injustice, this sin, is created by our own people, our own friends. So karmanne vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This is not your thinking about whether this is right or wrong. Your thing is only to act. And this action should not be based on what will I get. I want to study. But I want to study because I want to become the first in the class. I want to get the best grade. There is a problem in that. You want to study because you want to study. That's about it. So Lord says that you study because I want you to study. But don't think about coming first, because then this action that you have is concomitant to your thinking about the results. And if you fail in the results, because I decide what is the result. Even if you do the best, I will not give you the results of your choice. So results is to be given by me, but if you don't ask for the results, you'll get it. If you think about the results and your actions are based on the results, there will be a problem because there will be despondency. There will be unhappiness. There will be fear. And this is what he talks about. So action taken with the spirit of detachment and indifference to the results of the action are taken in the spirit of yoga. As 18th chapter says, this is the true renunciation. I've actually deleted almost all my speech because it got very complicated, but I'll just tell you about what I think about the basic stuff. So Gita is nothing but exhaustion to action. This is what Krishna tells Arjuna. We have to work to attain freedom, moksha, liberation. When we attain it, we have to work as an instrument of divine. So moksha is not only for me. Once I've got the state of understanding, I have to pass it on. You see him. He did the same. He got the moksha. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa got the moksha. But what they did, they passed it on. Because this is the need of the hour. So moksha is, to me, is not a state. It's a realization. In our own lives today, we can attain the sense of moksha, the sense of liberation. But again, the sense of liberation can only come when you are following the 18th chapter verses, which he spoke so beautifully, Lord Krishna. And he says that you do your work, leave the results to me, and depending on how do I see your work, I'll give you the fruits of it. So Gita asks us to act in a manner that the actions do not bind us. Does the Lord stop acting for the sake of humanity? He is there to restore the order, as I mentioned earlier. And the realized souls have the obligation, the duty to help others, to discover the divine within themselves. So Brahmasmi, when I speak about Brahmasmi, I also speak in the same breath about Tattvamasi. So I am the God, but I see the God in you also. And I see God in everybody. And when you see the God in everybody, when you see the Brahman in everybody, then this dichotomy of me versus you, this differentiation goes away. And this is what ultimate truth, this is the ultimate understanding of the unity that prevails at the bottom of all creation. So Gita asks us to act in a manner that the actions do not bind us. Does the Lord stop acting for the sake of humanity? He is there to restore the order, as I mentioned earlier. And the realized souls have the obligation, the duty to help others, to discover the divine within themselves. So Brahmasmi, when I speak about Brahmasmi, I also speak in the same breath about Tattvamasi. So I am the God, but I see the God in you also. And when you see the God in everybody, then this dichotomy of me versus you, this So to work without desire and impersonally for the sake of the world, and God does not bind, nor does these words bind me, enthroned on high, unattached to the actions. Chapter 9:9. So we have to exclude from our minds shades of selfishness, preference for some forms of the work, desire for sympathy and applause. So all actions lead to yoga. This is what moksha is all about. Leads to reunion, the ultimate realization. Mind is still, ego is destroyed, individual becomes one with the Supreme, not only in work and consciousness, but in the life and in the being. Moksha is the direct perception of the Lord. It is only experiential. No amount of knowledge, no amount of action can give you the state of realization of moksha. It is a direct insight into the truth. And we all have this ultimate Brahm sitting inside us. And we have forgotten about this ultimate Brahm. So the Lord says that when you start taking that path of realization of moksha, the realization of liberation, then you become one with me. And that is when we say the primal question, who am I? You are him. You are no different. So when you know that you are him, and you are not Mridul Kumar, Ambassador of India, and you are not Padam Rupa, then you understand everything very clearly. So attain him, there are different paths tried. Gita says, try to know me. Jnana Yoga. Knowledge. If you can't, contemplate on me. Practice yoga, dhyana yoga. If you're not equal to thing, try to serve me by dedicating all your work to me. Bhakti yoga. But if you find this hard, do your duty, the karma yoga, regardless of the consequences, not bothered about the fruits of it, giving up all your desires from the fruits. Chapter 12, 9, 11. In the absolute experience, this is the feeling of oneness of all. The Atma is in all beings. All beings are in Atma. No quality left in evolved man beyond good and bad. He is nirguna, without qualities. So when you want to be with him, when you want to be the nirguna, you have to remove all your qualities. And the challenge and the dilemma that we face is, I want to be good, I don't want to be bad. Even this is a problematic situation for attaining him. So our Purans, our scriptures say that when you want to be with him, when you want to understand who you are, then the attachment, any kind, including to the good qualities, should also be forgiven. To end, a true sannyasi, as Gita says, is above caste, it's above society, it's above rules that we have set for ourselves for a good society. He is not an ascetic ideal. He is the one who is not aloof from the society. He has compassion for all. So this is the sannyasi that we talk about. And for me, I've been to Kailash Mansarovar, traveled there on foot. Lord Shiva is the ideal ascetic. He resides in the snows of Himalayas. And I can see why we celebrate this lesson here so beautifully in Switzerland. Because there is something special in the mountain which attracts you, which attracts the ascetic. This is where you feel the most challenge for your bodies. And when you're beyond your body, the experience is very different. So I think this is where I find a lot of commonality between Indian Himalayas and Swiss Alps. So I will end by talking, in fact, the Lord brings poison. So the sannyasi says, I'll take the ill of the society, all the evils of the society, keep them here in my throat. I'll become blue in my throat, Neelkant. But the reason I want to become blue is not that people pray to me, but I want to save the humanity. So we say, Om Triambakam Yajamahe, Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam, Urvarukmev Bandhanat, Mrityor Mukshi, Yamamursat. So एक बार सब बोले मेरे साथ, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you so much, His Excellency. It's so nice that you also remind us of Shiva, Mahadev. We always remind him with this verse of Bhagavatam, no Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. The greatest Vaishnav, Shiva, who is always absorbed in the lotus feet of the Lord. Thank you so much for reminding us, and the beautiful conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We've mentioned in the beginning that this book is very old, 5,000 years. Actually, it's older. When Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says it's eternal, and it has been spoken from the sun god millions of years ago. So the question is, how is it relevant to today's time and age? And Krishna Prabhu, he will explain to us how we can take the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and apply them in today's world. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namom Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavad Pashchatyati Shatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. His Excellency Shri Kumarji, dear devotees, dear guests, thank you so much for this wonderful speech. It's impressive, the ambassador of a country speaks such philosophy and wisdom. If you invite the ambassador of, Norway or something, what wisdom will come? But if you invite the ambassador of India, you will hear Bhagavad Gita. And that's the beauty of India. Thank you so much. I was reflecting, Switzerland is famous for watches, for cows, for cheese. India is famous, of course, for many things. Wonderful jewelries and precious stones. Of course, amazing architecture and culture. Of course, Bollywood. And of course, cuisine. The Indian kitchen is loved by everyone. But then this Vedic knowledge, the wisdom that India is giving. India is often known as the motherland of spirituality. Everyone knows, if you want to know about God, about the absolute, about spirituality, you go to India. That's the place you're seeking. And we're very grateful that His Excellency, you're with us and that we have this event today. So I'll try to talk a little bit about the relevance of Gita today, because Vedic wisdom is timeless. It's not something that it was important some time ago and now it's not important, but it's eternal wisdom. And especially the Gita, or this Vedic knowledge, gives us what we call Shastra Chakshu. It gives us a new vision. We see the world with different eyes. In other words, we see the world through the eyes of Shastra, through the scriptures. And this transcendental knowledge is very much needed in today's world. Because in today's world, there's so many misconceptions, so much ignorance, so much things. People are misguided in illusion. And this knowledge can give us guidance. And Sri Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita compares transcendental knowledge to different aspects. And we have here some examples. So jnana, or knowledge, is compared to Agni. You see a fire there. Agni as a fire. It's the jnana, the fire that destroys our karma. All our activities that we do in this world, good and bad, brings reactions. And it says that transcendental knowledge actually destroys all karma, including the good karma. Some people might, but I don't want to remove my good karma. But the thing is, either bad or good, both action will bind us to this world. If we want to get liberation, we need to give up both. And when we develop, when we study, when we cultivate transcendental knowledge, this knowledge, like a fire, burns away the wood, it burns away our karmic reaction. Then jnana is also compared to plava, to a boat. The material world is like an ocean of nescience, and of darkness, of illusion or ignorance, and it's difficult to cross an ocean, but if there is a boat, that boat can bring you over the ocean. And so Krishna says that even if you are considered to be the most sinful of all sinners, when you are situated in a boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross over the ocean of miseries. So that boat, knowledge is compared to a boat. Of course, also knowledge is compared to dipa, to a lamp or light. We just spoke this Om Agyana Timirandasya. We were born in ignorance, and then the spiritual master, by his mercy, by the torchlight of knowledge, gives light, gives guidance. So that's what knowledge is. And knowledge is also compared to asina, to a sword or a weapon that can destroy our doubts. And in this way, this transcendental knowledge is so important in today's world, also today. And as we said, Shastra gives us a different perspective. And there's a wonderful way to look at this. We have 18 chapters of Gita, and it might be a little small. I don't know whether you can see it properly, but there's 18 chapters, and the world teaches us 18 principles, and the Gita gives us a different perspective to it. And this is beautifully described. I have this from this wonderful book, Gita 3, which is from His Holiness Keshav Maharaj. And I just read through it, you get an idea. So the world teaches us, leave the problems. If there are problems, run away. The Gita teaches, learn from problems. The world teaches, act first, ask later. The Gita teaches us, ask first, act later. The world teaches, spiritualists don't own. If you practice spirituality, you're poor. But actually, spiritualists aren't owned by anything. The world teaches no through study. The Gita teaches no through sincerity. The world tells us, be the best. The Gita tells us, try your best. The world tells us, train your body. The Gita tells, train your mind. The world tells us, see to believe. The Gita tells us, hear to see. The world says, live before you die. And the Gita says, die before you die. Then the world says, ask God for your wants. And the Lord says, or Gita says, give God what he wants. The world says, I can't see God anywhere. I don't see God. The Gita tells us, you can see God everywhere. And the world says, believe in yourself. And the Gita says, believe in Krishna. The world says, make a to-do list. The Gita says, make a to-be list. The world says, God is far, seated in heaven. And Gita says, God is near, seated within your heart. The world says, the wealthy have the most. And the Gita says, the wealthy need the least. The world encourages us to pursue our dreams, and the Gita tells us, discover reality. The world tells us all about I, me and mine, and the Gita teaches us we, us and ours. The world teaches faith opposes knowledge, and the Gita teaches us that faith builds knowledge. And we all think that we should try to be happy, but actually we should try to serve. So in this way, we can see that there is so much ignorance in this world, so many misconceptions, but then when we get the proper vision, the proper knowledge, then actually we can see there is another way to see the world. There's a different perspective. And to go through all 18, of course, would not be possible. Let's just have one or two examples, and then we can wind up. So, His Excellency also spoke about Arjuna, who faced this dilemma. How can I fight my own family members, my teachers? Arjuna had a great crisis. And he says here, I'm now unable to stand here any longer. I'm forgetting myself and my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. Oh, Krishna, killer of Keshi demon. And we know Arjuna, he throws away his Gandiva bow and he falls on his knees and he's, I will not fight. So this is quite natural. If we face a problem, what do? We try to run away. We try to run away from the problem. It's quite natural. But is it the best? Actually, when we face problems, instead of running away, usually we try to make adjustment in the external. No, we try to change things externally. But the Gita tells us that we shouldn't run away, but we should actually face. And we should ask the questions, if I have a problem, if I have a challenge in life, could it be that every difficulty we encounter is meant to evolve and edify and elevate our consciousness? Could unwanted impediments be part of a master plan to usher us into higher awareness of life? Perhaps challenge appear for our growth. Maybe when we face challenge, it's meant that we can learn something. Usually when something happened to us, and then maybe we have different problems. We don't have to fight an army with our own family members, but we may have, health crisis. We may have financial problems. We may have some emotional issues or some relationship issues. So we all have difficulties. And usually what do we say? Why me? No, why me? Why I'm a good person. Why do I face all these difficulties? But rather, instead of asking why me, maybe we should ask, what can I learn? Krishna, what should I learn from this? And we can see when we look back in times where we had difficulties, usually the most difficult time, they were actually the most important times in our life, where we came out as a much better version of ourselves, because we learned. So we can see, what did I learn from this challenge? And also, if we have problems that we face right now, we can ask, okay, what do I need to learn, and how will my life change if I actually learn the lesson? And if a problem comes again and again and again, we might have to ask ourselves, which lesson have I not learned yet? Because if we try to escape, usually the same thing come, and we will be tested again. So this is one of the teachings that we have. The world tells us, leave the problems, run away. And this is what Arjuna wanted to do. But the Gita teaches us, learn from problems. Try to face and try to grow. And this is what Krishna is doing. He teaches the Gita to give Arjuna the proper understanding so that he is armed to face all the difficulties in a proper consciousness. So another example we can take is maybe from the 5th chapter. Be the best. Try your best. Now in this world, everyone says, you have to be the best. That's the slogan. Everyone wants to be the best. And the Excellency also mentioned about this, to act in a way to be detached. In the Gita we have this from the 15th chapter. Brahmaniyatya karmani sangam tyaktva karotiya lipyate nasapapena patma patram ivambasha. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as a lotus leaf is untouched by water. Beautiful example. The lotus is always an example of divinity, and which is untouched by the impurities. So, instead of trying to be the best, we should try to do our best. And there is many different reasons for that. Even in psychology, we say that there is a circle of influence we have. There is certain things we are concerned about, but we don't have much influence. like possible wars or the wars that are going on, the climate change, political situations. We might be concerned, but we don't have so much, okay, maybe if one is an ambassador, maybe, or politician, we have more influence, we can try do something. But yeah, some things are beyond our, we can't control what Mr. Donald Trump does. But there are things that we have control, we have influence. So we should try to understand, what can I do, what can I not do. But what the Gita teaches us, and this is most important, is that we are not the doer. At least we are not the independent doer. Of course, we have responsibility for our action because we have desire. And according to the desire, we take action. So that's why we are responsible. But we are not the only doer. We are not the independent doer. And there's a beautiful example. You see the picture here? We have a little boy. He wants to hold this weight. Is he capable to lift that weight? Most probably not. It's quite a heavy one. But his father is there and he's helping. And by the help of the father, that little boy will lift the weight easily. But if that little boy lifts that weight and says, yeah, see how strong I am, I can lift it. It's not completely accurate understanding of reality. He has a desire, I want to do it. But then by the help of the Lord, he's able to do. So in Gita, Krishna speaks about the 5 factors of action. Whatever we do, there are 5 aspects of action. And that's why we are detached, because we understand it's not entirely depending on me. I try my best, but then it's up to the Lord, because there are other factors. Now there is adhishtanam, that's the place which is a factor. There is karta, that's the myself or the body. There is karanam, there is the senses through which, the instruments through which I act. There is chesta, there is the consciousness or the endeavor that I invest in an activity. And these are all important, what kind of endeavor I have, what motivation. But then is one big one, that's Devam. It's the Lord who gives permission. And it's the Lord who actually does, through the material nature, who actually does the action. And we are simply desiring. So that's the kind of understanding which the Gita gives us, which is so valuable, which is so unique, a unique understanding and philosophy, which is there, which we can embrace from the Gita. And in this way, there is many other lessons we can take. I will cut it short, of course. So from the 8 chapters, we learn, live before you die. That's what the people say. We should, we have a bucket list. We want to do this, we do that. But actually, the Gita says, die before you die, which means if you actually want to live fully, then you have to free yourselves from all your conditionings and from all the things that pull you down, like your kama, krodha, lobha, your anger, your greed, all the negative energies. You have to first die. Your false ego has to first die, as we also heard. Right? How can you love if there is an ego? So that ego needs to die, and only then you can properly live. And in this way, the Gita gives us many beautiful lessons. And we are extremely grateful to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has come to the West and has shared the message of the Bhagavad Gita. And of course, there have been many translations of the Gita, even before Srila Prabhupada. But as we have seen, although there have been translation been there, it was the translation that Prabhupada provided that actually changed the life of so many people. By reading this translation, actually took up the path of bhakti, the path of devotion, and started to live according to the Gita. And also a unique contribution of Srila Prabhupada is that he gave a very specific theistic view on the Gita, or like he calls the Gita as it is, because if you look at the Gita's conclusion at the end of the day, it's always bhakti. Every chapter ends with a shloka that highlights how bhakti is the supreme. And in that sense, devotion is so important. And the devotion is between an individual and a supreme individual, that loving relationship that takes place. Because moksha is, of course, what we aspire for moksha. But shanti, to be peaceful and to be tranquil and to be free from all anxiety, that's nice. But at the end of the day, what do we actually long for? It's love, isn't it? We like to be happy and peaceful. But at the end of the day, the soul is hankering for love. And that love always takes place in a relationship between two. And there is Bhakta, Bhakti, and Bhagavan. Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. There is the Bhakta, that's us, the soul. And there is Bhakti, which is that which connects the Bhakta and Bhagavan. And this is the message of the Gita, how Sri Krishna gave it to us, and that's the message how Srila Prabhupada very much emphasized and shared with the world. And in this way, we are looking forward to, be more absorbed in the teachings of the Gita, and of course try to apply as much as we can. The Gita is not a book that we just read one day and put it back in the shelf, but it's a book we read again and again and try to apply and absorb in our lives. And in this way, hopefully, can contribute to make this world a better place with people who have a God-conscious vision and action in their lives. I'll stop here. We're all over time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Krishna Prema Prabhu. I think now we can really accept that it's relevant. Who has problems in this room? Anyone has problems? Anyone has no problems? Everyone knows, no? We have some problems, and that's just one point we see here, that the Gita teaches us how to learn, how to take the best out of these problems. Krishna Prema Prabhu has been dedicated for years to teach Bhagavad Gita. In ISKCON we have some standard courses like Bhakti Shastri, where we teach some standard books, which give a very sound philosophical basis to the Krishna consciousness movement. And I'm very happy that Krishna Prema Prabhu was sharing in a very short, concise way what's the essence of Gita and how is it relevant. And maybe at this point we also would like to invite all of you. We have courses on a regular basis, and Srila Prabhupada, he established these temples as an educational center, for people to come and learn, especially learn from the scriptures, and the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all these scriptures. So thank you to both of you, Hare Krishna, for these enlightening words. And we have a last program point. Actually, it was supposed to be two, the recitation of Bhagavad Gita. This is a very standard thing to do on Gita Jayanti, where people come together and together they recite the verses. In many temples, this is done the whole Gita, which takes like 2-3 hours. I think we will just do one chapter today, so we can also honor Prasad after. And we were thinking first to do the chapter 5, but since the time has been less than expected, we thought to do chapter 12. It's the shortest chapter, but Prabhupada, he was asked a few times what's the most important chapter. Of course, we cannot really say. Sometimes he would say 18, another time maybe 2. It is very foundational as well. And he says the whole Gita is summarized. But one time in France, in New Mayapur, one person came to him. I believe he was working for the French army. And he told Srila Prabhupada, I have very little time to read. So can you please tell me which chapter I should focus on? And he said, chapter 12. And we know the chapter he entitles or translates as devotional service, and that's really the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And we will combine it with the Havan, with the Homa. So now we have to see how to bring the Homa in here. Okay, so what we do, I promise to you, those who like can now come to our Pujari and take the blessings in the form of the Shatari. And in the meantime, we set everything up and we can again sit down and chant the 12th chapter. So please, if you like, Maya Puchanda Prabhu, kannst du bitte Shatari gehen? And maybe we can use some space here in the center of the temple. Hare Krishna. You might want to make sure you can see the screen unless you know it by heart, the verses. We will project them on the screen, and maybe some of you have a phone as well. You can open it there, but you can follow on the screen. The Havan will be happening simultaneously, and we now invite Shikshastakam Prabhu. He will be leading the chanting. We would also like to welcome our priest, His Grace Mandali Bhadra Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Yes, of course. Everybody's Yes. Ja, wir haben um die 3. Wenn du mehr willst, kannst du mehr sein. Ich kann nicht eins geben.
So we just have 3 representatives throwing the rice, and you can all focus on the chanting. Yeah?
Good. Hare Krishna. Thank you for inviting me for the program. I only can say India saved my life. That's all what I can say. So I'm very thankful of you in the good country. Huh? I always say, I go to many Indians home. I always say, you come to Switzerland to save our economy. And I stay here to remember you on your culture. So, Hare Krishna. Mangalasmapayami, abhiyami, stapayami, swagatam, swagatam, suswagatam. Idam nivedyam mangalasmapayami. Om Bhursvaha, Om Bhurvasvaha, Om Svasvaha, Om Bhurbhuvasvaha. Vishnu Pradhan Krishna Prasthan Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Dinamine Namaste Saraswati Devam Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Padyatyate Shatarine Svaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Sri Lord Sri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Svaha Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Svaha
Arjuna Vacha. We can do it together. Evam satata yukta ye bhaktastvang paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vitamaha swaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Vesha Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Parayopetas Te Me Yukta Tamamataha Swaha Ye Tvaksharam Nirdeshyam Avyaktam Paryupasate Sarvatra Gamma Chintyam Cha Kutastang Achalang Dhruvam Swaha Saniyamendriya Gramang Sarvatra Samabudhayaha Te Prapnuvanti Mameva Sarvabhuta Hite Rata Swaha Kleshodikatarastesham Avyakta Sakta Chetasam Avyakta Hi Gatir Dukam Dehavat Piravapyate Swaha Yetu Sarvani Karmani Mai Sanyasya Matparaha Ananyenaiva Yogena Mam Dhyayanta Upasate Swaha Teshamaham Samudharta Mrityu Sangsara Sagarat Pavami Nachirat Parta Maya Veshita Chetasam Swaha Mayeva Manadhatsava May Buddhing Niveshaya Nivashishyasi Mayeva Ata Urdvam Na Sangshayaha Swaha Ata Chitam Samadhatum Na Shaknoshi Maistiram Abhyasa Yogena Tato Mami Chaptum Dhananjaya Swaha Abhyase piya samartosi mad karma paramo bhava madartam api karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi swaha ataita dapya shaktosi kartum mad yogamashrita sarva karma palatyagam Tata kuru yatatmavan swaha Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasaj jnanat jnanam vishishyate dhyanat karma palatyagas tyagach chantiranantaram swaha Advishta sarva bhutanam Maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara samaduka sukakshami swaha santushta satatang yogi yatatatma dridhanishchaya mayarpita manobudhir yomat bhakta same priya swaha Yasmanno dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chayah, harsha marsha bayodvegair, mukto yasa cha me priya, swaha. Anapeksha Shuti Daksha Udasino Gatavyata Sarvaramba Parityagi Yomat Bhakta Same Priya Svaha Yona Hrishyati na dveshti na shochati na kankshati Shubha Shubha Parityagi Bhakti Manya Same Priya Svaha Samaha Shatrau Chamitre Cha Tata Manapa Manayo Shitoshna Sukha Dukeshu Samasanga Vivarchita Svaha Tulyaninda Stutir Mauni Santushto Yena Kenachit Aniketasti Ramati Bhaktiman Me Priyo Naraha Svaha Yetu Dharmamritam Idam Yatoktam Paryupasate Shraddhadhana Matparama Bhaktaste Tiva Me Priya Svaha.
Now we want to have some few more mantras, and everybody know this mantra. Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Swaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. There's so many rules and regulation, and nowadays it's very difficult to following all these rules. So therefore, on the end of a Havan is always we pray to the Lord that if something was wrong, forgive us. Okay. Om idunagdeva aviyami stapyami swagatam swagatam suswagatam idamachmyam om idunagdeva. Om Bhur Swaha, Om Bhruva Swaha, Om Swaswaha, Om Bhur Swaha. I chant some few mantras more on the offer. Sri Chaitanya Manopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kalamayam Tadati Swavadantikam Swaha. Namo Mahavadanaya Krishna Prema Pragayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Namaha Swaha. Tappraganja Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sudevi Pranamani Hari Priye Swaha. Tappraganja Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sudevi Pranamani Hari Priye Swaha. Vanjakalpa Durvascha Kripa Sindhu Vyedavcha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Swaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Swaha. Go Brahma Hridaya Cha Jagadaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. Now everybody can stand up. We make body. Shanti, Shanti, Vayu, Shanti, Teja, Shanti, Loka, Shanti, Brahma, Shanti, Vaishnava, Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Okay, we can make parikram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol.
Gaura Premanande, Hari 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 Bol. Thank you all very, very much for joining us today for this wonderful celebration of Gita Jayanti. We will now invite all of you to please take prasadam, and we would also especially like, again, the ambassador, His Excellency Mr. Kumarji. Thank you so much for you and your team for helping us putting up this wonderful event, and we hope we'll do it in the future, next year, and maybe we can do other events too here at the temple. Many more. Yeah. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. The embassy also very kindly agreed to sponsor some books, and outside we have a table. You can see, I still don't know who's going to be there. You'll find some of our colleagues. So if you're interested, please have a look. As mentioned already before, there's also Bhagavad Gitas for children. That's not for free. Some of them you would have to pay, but the person can tell you everything. And then for those of you who like, today there is a drama performance in the Predigerkirche here in Zurich at 6:30, Mahabharat. Huh? On this day. Isn't it nice? So if you like, everyone is welcome. This is happening in a it's called Die Woche der Religionen, can be translated as the Week of Religions. So they have different programs in different churches, temples, and they try to promote unity amongst religions. And one of the programs is tonight the Mahabharat. And you saw a very short teaser today, the Gita Productions led by Gora Lila, and they will have, I think, a 1 hour drama performance. 2 hours. Whoa! So bring your popcorn. Hare Krishna. So thank you again. I hope to see you soon. Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Shri Gornitai ki jai. Hare Krishna. Bharat Mata ki jai.
When you start coming in with the place, we can close.
Or we like
Like on Sunday we close. And then later somebody.
कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन पनो प्रेमामृतम निधि धीरा धीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ श्री चैतन्य कृपा भरो भुवि भुव भारावहंतारको वंदे रूप सनातन रघुजगो श्रीजीव गोपालको कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन परो प्रेमामृतांबनिधि धीरा धीर जन प्रिय प्रिय करो निर्मत्सरौ पूजितौ नाना शास्त्र विचारणैक निपुण सद्धर्म संस्थापक लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मन्नौ शरण्याकरौ नाना शास्त्र शास्त्र विचारणैक निपुणं सद्धर्म संस्थापकं लोकानां हितकारिणं त्रिभुवने मन्नं शरणाकरं राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजनानन्देन मत्वालिकं वन्दे रूप सनातनं रघुजुगं श्रीजीव गोपालकं कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन परं प्रेमामृताम्बनिधि श्री चैतन्य कृपाभनो भुवि भुव भारावहन्तारकं वन्दे रूप सनातनं रघुजुगं श्रीजीव गोपालकं श्रीगौरांग गुणानुवर्णन विधौ सध्यासमिद्धार्नितं पापत्रापनिकृन्तनं तनुमितां गोविन्द गानामृतैः श्री गौरांग गुणानुवर्णन विधौ सध्यासमिद्धान्वितं पापत्रापनिकृन्तनं तनुभितां गोविन्द गानामृतैः आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनैकनिपुणं कैवल्यनिस्वार्थं वन्दे रूप सनातनं रघुजुगं श्रीजीव गोपालकं कृष्ण कीर्तन गान नर्तन परं प्रेमामृताम्बनिधि तत्त्वातो नमसे समण्डलपति शनि सदा तुच्छम भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितौ तत्त्वातो नमसे समण्डलपति शनि सदा तुच्छवत् भूत्वा दीनगणेशकौ करुणया कोऽपि न कण्ठाश्रितौ गोपी भावरसामृताभिलहरी कल्लोलमग्नोन्मुहो वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजुगं श्रीजीव गोपालकौ कृष्ण कीर्तन कानन तन परं प्रेमामृताम्बनिधि कृष्ण कीर्तन गानन तन परं प्रेमामृताम्बनिधि कुजत कोकिल हंस संसार सुगन कीर्ण मयूराकुले नाना रत्न निबद्ध मूल विटप श्रीयुक्त वृंदावने राधा कृष्ण महन्निसं प्रभजतौ जीवार्थदौ जौ बुधा वन्दे रूप सनातन रघुजगं